you guys doing? All right, today we're going to graph them all with all the transformations. We got the vertical transformation. We've got the horizontal transformation. We've even got the reflection. Oh, do you think we have a change in amplitude? Yeah. Do you think we're going to change the period? You bet. So let's try them out. We're going to graph -2 plus 3 sine 4x. Okay. So typically you would see the -2 at the back end, but we're going to figure out a few things here. We're going to figure out a few of the keys. So amplitude, that's how much further up or down, because typically, remember, like a normal graph just goes up one and down one from the center. So the amplitude you get from that number right in front of the sine or cosine. So here our amplitude is going to be 3. So instead of going up 1 and down 1 from the center, it's going to go up 3 and down 3 from the center. The next thing we're going to usually find is the period. Now typically, a period is 2 pi, right? Like the unit circle repeats every 2 pi. So we're going to figure out the period by doing 2 pi divided by b, which that number comes right in front of the x, between the sine and the x. And sometimes there's nothing written there, so our period would be 2 pi, so it would repeat every 2 pi. But here we're going to have to divide by the 4 that's there. Now, if you simplify that, that means one period will be pi over 2. That's what that fraction would reduce to. So every half of a pi, this cycle is going to repeat. Okay? The other things, we got this -2, and it looks like it has nothing to do with the x. It's not being multiplied at all. So that's a vertical shift. So that means we're going to be shifting everything down 2 units. Now we have basically everything we need at this point. But what I like to do is kind of figure out what I call the steps. Because there are basically 4 parts of these sines and cosine graphs. It's where it starts. Either it starts up 1, down 1, or right in the center. Then it goes to like a middle point. Then it goes to the lowest point, and the middle point, and then the high point again. So I'm looking for at least 4 steps. So what I do when I'm doing this is I take the period, which in our case is pi over 2, and I divide it by 4 into my 4 steps. But if I have a fraction and I'm dividing by 4, instead I multiply by 1 over 4. So this will give me pi over 8 for each step. So I'm going to mark my graph every 1/8 of pi. So we're starting at 0. My first point I'm going to mark is 1 pi over 8. Then we have 2 pi over 8, but that would reduce to pi over 4. Then we have 3 pi over 8. Then 4 pi over 8, which reduces to pi over 2. And that'll be where our cycle repeats. So you can stop graphing there, but it's also cool if you keep it going. So pi over 2 was 4 pi over 8. Here would be 5 pi over 8. 6 pi over 8 would reduce to 3 pi over 4. Then we have 7 pi over 8. And then we can do 8 pi over 8, which is just pi. So that's kind of a good graph for us. Now, we say we're shifting everything down 2 units. Our amplitude is 3. So from where it starts, it can go up 3 at the most, and it can go down 3 at the most. So here's -2. This will be like the center of the graph. It can go all the way up to +1, or it can go down 3 units to -5. All that is just setup, and these get easier. So think sine, and the way I have to remember it is so. Sine starts at 0, but we're shifting down 2 units. So we're going to start down here at -2. And we'll finish up the graph in the next video. These will go faster after this first one.